Welcome guys to the preview episode of F1 2017 Career Mode, Season number 3. You join me with the creation of the lid that I'm going to be rocking for the 2019 season, that we're going to be doing. Going for more, back to my roots, go for more of a purple, of orange and a black colour, after the lovely colour that I did rock in practice, the blue and the orange, almost akin to the actual 2018 McLaren car. It's time to go on to Season 3. This is the season that I was hyping up at the tail end of last year, as we are going to be doing our title challenge. This is the season where I aim to become Drivers' World Champion. It's a big ask, and it starts with the all-important qualifying session on Saturday. Car hooked up to the extreme, charging down towards turn 1. The brakes at the 100 meters, nicely on the curb. Don't run out too wide because it will unsettle the car. DRS open as soon as possible. Don't use the curb on the right hand side, as that will offset you. Then move to the left hand side of the track, brake around 90 meters for turn 3. Let the car just rotate around slowly. Bring it in, miss the apex a little bit through 4. Thankfully, due to the grip of the car, didn't run out too wide. Flat through turn 5, up to 7, and we're here. It's the fastest first sector of the session so far. 5/100ths of a second faster than current provisional pole time. Moving through turns 6 and 7, moving up to arguably the hardest corner on the track, turn 9, brake at 100 meters, and you've got to just bring it in, kiss the curb on the inside. Don't run the curb on the outside, as that will hamper your acceleration, and we're over 6/10 up on our best times so far this time around. What's it going to be as we cross the middle sector split? We are just down on current provisional pole time, but through the left-right, we've gained a lot of time on exit. We are down compared to our delta, but we are very strong in this final sector. Brake at around about 80 meters, chuck it in late apex, carry the speed through, extend the track if necessary, and then through the right hander, took a big old chunk of curb, ran it out wide, maintain the speed, then get it slowed down nicely for the penultimate corner, swing it out nice and wide so you can take the final corner nice and flat. Open up the DRS. We are over 7/10 faster. We charge towards the line. Is it going to be pole position? Yes, it is, with a 1:24.3. We put ourselves ahead of Sebastian Vettel with a monstrous final sector, and in the end it is 33 thousandths of a second that put us ahead of Sebastian and take our maiden pole position in this career mode. It took till Season 3. We've started P2 before in Canada last year, but this is our first front row. Numero uno, Bottas third, Hamilton fourth, Raikkonen 8/10 off in 5th, Alonso in 6th, now clearing both Red Bull cars, and then Force India and Haas sort of, mixing up for the bottom of the top 10. But now, can we take the success of Saturday and put it into the race? Now, we're starting first, P1 on the grid, so we've got a very difficult task. Obviously, we took some life out of the Ultra Softs, so therefore we have to start on those worn tyres. So figuring a 2-stop is going to be the best strategy for us to go with a bit of extra fuel to be able to utilise that rich mix. So we're going to be running Ultras, Supers, and then Ultras at the end to be faster. And look at this, for the first time in our career, leading the field, and Seb Vettel had a grid penalty in the first race of the season. I don't know why. I don't know if there was some kind of incident in practice. I don't see why he would have taken new components already. But yes, we're going to have both Mercedes, still the fastest car, arguably, breathing down our neck as we're going to be trying to basically win, convert pole to a win in Albert Park. And man, it was building up. It was building up something special. As we now go to the lights. All 5 are on. 5 are out, and away we go for the 2019 Australian Grand Prix. Bottas makes a move. Can he go down the inside of turn 1? The nose of the Mercedes head. We run it out wide, utilise all the curb, get the better acceleration, and we retain the lead through turns 1 and 2. Bottas filters into second. Hamilton is third. Obviously, back there we would have had the Ferrari and, of course, Fernando Alonso. Not too sure what's going on with him at this point, but we've led from the start. That's exactly what I needed to do. So now it's all about us being able to control the race. Even though we put it on pole position, which is rare for us, it's then being able to control the race, get a steady pace going. We know our race pace is where my true pace lies. half a second to Hamilton at the end of the lap. Bottas just 1.1 back as well. So the two Mercedes have swapped around. It's going to be Hamilton trying to attack me. End of lap 2, we're going to do a lap. It's a 27.7. Bottas does a 27.3. So clearly they are still on my tail. And I've made a mistake through turn 1. Took too much curb on the inside. It allowed the car to drift out wide. Hamilton's going to get a much better run as we go down towards turn 3. He's on the outside. Pulls ahead of me ever so slightly. But he is vulnerable down the inside as he wasn't a full car length ahead. Couldn't cut across me. Ran him out wide. Hung him out to dry. And we retained P1 as we carry on through this stint. We're going to be coming in at the end of lap 8, hopefully. So we come in lap 5. We do a personal best of a 27.1. I found a lot of extra speed that lap. But Hamilton, yeah, into the 26s. So clearly the cars behind are still pretty fast. And it looks as if Bottas has already made either an early pit stop or he's been overtaken by Raikkonen. Either way, Hamilton's had an excellent run out of turn 9. He's going to try and go to the outside of the fast left, right, left. Can he look to make a move around the outside? No, he cannot. He actually gets put out of position. I've run out wide. Yellow flag contact. Hamilton rounds. What's happened there? Obviously, we saw that we squeezed him out. We go on board with the Englishman. He's tapped Raikkonen through the right-hander, and due to the high-speed nature, that's just unsettled his car, and he's now pointing the wrong way in a very high-speed section of the track there. Let's have a look at what happened for offboard. Yeah, you just see the contact with the Ferrari, and just that gentle little nudge was enough to put him round. That's Hamilton out of contention then. So we are mainly fighting Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas. So end of lap 8. As said, we're going to be diving into the pits this time around. Take that wide line to be able to just carry the extra speed through the banking into the pit lane. And let's get it slowed down. Quite cautious on pit entry, but, you know, I'm in a very good position. Don't want to speed. Raikkonen is in. I believe Bottas has already pitted as well. So that allowed Ricciardo to inherit the lead of the Grand Prix. Perez starting on the super soft, so I imagine he's doing a one-stop strategy here today, so he's going to be one to look out for near the end of the race. Bottas on the super soft tyres. Is he going to come past us? You saw there, no, that was him in the pit stop, sorry, so he did pit the same lap as us. We have got a Williams coming very close to us into turn 1. Can we stay ahead of it? The answer, thankfully, is yes. We've got a good old bit of space to Nico Hülkenberg, so I was able to put the pedal to the metal, and then by the end of lap 10, the end of second sector on lap 10, we've caught back up to the Renault driver, so we're going to utilise our better tyre and our better car, sitting in the slipstream of him as we caught up through the left, right. And can we look to make a move down the inside? Now Hülkenberg just a little bit too ahead there, but you can see where he's on older soft compound tyres. He just doesn't have the mid-corner speed, and we're going to make a move here down the inside of the penultimate corner, just lunging it there past Nico. And it was a good thing for him to sort of just get out of the way. He's in a different race to us. Daniel Ricciardo has come in at the end of lap 10, and to my concern, he's fit the soft compound tyre. He's gone from ultra softs to softs. Now that says to me he's going to the end of the race. And Verstappen has done the same thing on lap 11. I'm starting to think that Red Bull have said we're doing a one-stop this race, and that now means that I have to make an additional pit stop. Red Bull doing the one-stop. We are, of course, doing a two-stop. So we need to get our foot planted into the floor and do some quali-esque laps as we pass Perez, so we retake the lead, the physical lead of the Australian Grand Prix. But you know what? I don't feel like I'm in a net P1 here, so we need to keep pushing. We're 6.1 ahead of Hülkenberg. Ricciardo 6.3 behind him. But now, of course, lap 16, Ricciardo now free. He is being caught by Valtteri Bottas on the soft compound tyre, so I can only hope those two start scrapping away. He's 7.3 behind me. Bottas is 0.3 behind him. By the next couple of laps later, Bottas has got through, so I was kind of hoping they were going to fight for a bit longer. Vettel just with sublime pace, a 25.1, but he's massively out of position due to his grid penalty. So yeah, I'm pretty much at this point, I'm just trying to eke out the tyres, make sure that we can get ultras to go to the end. I'm losing a lot of time at this point here. I'm into the 27s, whereas the other guys around me are still in the 26s. But I need to make sure my ultras will go to the end. If I'd been able to pit earlier, I'd have loved to, but my tyres will be dead at the end of the race. And we get the confirmation from Jeff there that Bottas was a second faster. Anyway, end of lap 20. We are in. Bottas takes the lead. He has to pit again. Ricciardo goes second. He doesn't have to pit again. Perez, third, doesn't have to pit. Verstappen, fourth, does not have to pit. But 2.1 from the McLaren boys on that final pit stop. I think that's going to be imperative to make sure we stay ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. You can see a car coming down the pit straight here. We're going to come out with a sizable amount of room to Kimi, so that's filled me with a little bit more confidence just there. But now we have to utilise the life and grip in these ultras, and we have got a lot of ground to catch up to the cars ahead. But you know, this is where I say I've upgraded the car. This is what we're doing it for. So end of lap 21. What's the gap? Gap to Verstappen, 10.3. Räikkönen is only a second behind me, and he's still looking very viable on those super soft tyres. End of lap 22. This is our first flying lap on these tyres. What is the time going to be? It's a 1:24.4, and it's the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Gap down to 7.9. End of lap 23. We go even faster. Gap down to 5.6 with 5 laps remaining. We need to be taking over a second a lap out of Verstappen, and it was getting to the point now where the tyres have been on for 4 laps, and they just weren't giving me that crispness that I needed. But I can see here lap 26. I can see them. When I go around turn 3, I can see those cars. Those soft tyres must be dying on those 3 cars ahead of me. But my Ultras just didn't have the life I needed, and I needed to be concerned but looking in my mirrors at being only 3.5 seconds behind Verstappen. But Räikkönen pushing me, only 0.2 behind. Bottas made his pit stop and quickly caught back up, but I was still catching the guys ahead. We're only 3 seconds behind them, and we're going to run out of laps. And it was so frustrating to be finessed by Red Bull on the strategy here. Bottas got past Räikkönen, so he's in a faster car, same tyres, but they're a lap younger. And we now have to basically now defend fourth from Bottas as he goes down the inside towards turn 1, pinches himself on the apex. We hold it all the way around the outside of Bottas. And now, what are we going to do down towards turn 3? Bottas has got the clean run. He's got slipstream. He pulls to the outside. DRS wide open. Pulls ahead of us like Hamilton did on lap 3. We're going to squeeze him out. Make it so we can't accelerate through turn 3. And we've been able to keep that position. But come the end of lap 29, Daniel Ricciardo, the Australian, is going to win his home Grand Prix with Perez coming home second. Max Verstappen third, and we're going to utilise our final bit of fuel to bring it home in 4th place. A frustrating result to get, but we were so close to the leaders at the end there.
So here come our winning drivers today, and what a race it was. There's been a big push at the factory lately to get these cars ready, and we can see the fruits of that labour today as Red Bull lift the winner's trophy.
So there you have it. Daniel Ricciardo wins the Australian Grand Prix from Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, all pulling off the one-stop strategy to absolute perfection. Yeah, I mean, we were only 10 seconds behind the leaders, which for us is a very close finish, but frustrating to be 4th after the pace we saw in qualifying. But what am I supposed to do against the one-stop? We know it's a good strategy. So we were the top of the second or 2 pit stops with Bottas, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Vettel on a 3-stop. Brings it home in 8th place, and then Sainz and Hülkenberg round out the top 10. Alonso retired early on in the Grand Prix. He had engine failure around lap 5, I believe it was. So obviously Alonso was running quite high up, but yeah, no points for him. Hamilton ended up a lap down and 2 pit stops. So yeah, poor race for Hamilton. Kvyat, Stroll, and Alonso our non-finishers. Move over to the constructors. Of the drivers is going to be exactly what it was as the finishing results. Red Bull take home 40 points. They have more than double Force India. We are tied with Ferrari in 3rd place as 12 points each. Then Mercedes on 10, Haas on 6, Toro Rosso 2, Renault 1, Williams and Sauber without scoring points. So only first race of the season. You know, we see that trends that you think are going to be the case in Australia don't necessarily carry over for the rest of the season, but it was good to see my qualifying pace was up there, honestly. The lap when I put it in to go fastest surprised me. So hopefully we can convert that more as the season goes on, and I'm hoping to be able to convert a pole position to a win at some point. I hadn't even considered the one stop. If I had, I believe we would have had that race won. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how far ahead of Ricciardo we were at the initial pit stop stage. But if we'd come in for soft tyres then, I mean, as would have had to have done like 2 more laps than his did, so they would have been just dead at the end of the Grand Prix. Because you could see even on our worn Ultras we were catching. But yeah, guys, that has been the season preview or season premiere season start, whatever, of Season 3 of the F1 2017 career mode, the 2019 F1 season, if you want to call it that. Please hit that like button if you did enjoy and comment any feedback down below. Next up is China. I do obviously want to get this season finished, and I do want to push for a World Drivers' Championship. China last year, we were looking to not get any points, and due to a late race surge, we managed to get ourselves 5th place. So let's see what we can do this time. Remember to subscribe and enable them notifications to be kept up to date with content coming to the channel. And I will see you all next time.